Here's something exciting. One of XRP's biggest catalysts is happening right now. I want to dive into exactly what I'm seeing here because this catalyst deserves every XRP holder's attention. Why? Because we're not just talking about short-term price movements or quick wins for XRP. This could reshape XRP's long-term success and value too. So yeah, this is going to make a massive difference for XRP's future. And while we're exploring that, let's also check out how the whole market landscape around XRP is shifting. Get this, just on August 5th, we got some fantastic news from the SEC. They actually declared that crypto liquid staking activities aren't securities. Can you believe how much the SEC has changed since 2024? It's like night and day with their approach and priorities. Now they're genuinely rooting for crypto's success. The fighting days are over. They want innovation to flourish. And honestly, as an investor, this feels absolutely crucial to recognize. This is our breakthrough moment, you know? The moment when our industry finally gets the serious recognition it deserves. So we're literally witnessing this massive turning point where technology isn't just reshaping crypto anymore. It's about to transform our entire world. And here's the thing about America that I keep talking about on this channel. When the US makes a move, the whole planet pays attention, right? It's like we sneeze and everyone catches a cold. So picture this, the SEC is completely changing their tune on crypto. This whole administration is doing a complete 180, giving the green light to major crypto activities left and right. And guess what? Every single country out there is watching this unfold, scratching their heads, asking themselves, wait, what's really going on here? They're diving deep, doing their homework, trying to figure out this puzzle. It's exactly like what we're seeing with tokenization right now. This isn't just an American phenomenon anymore, it's exploding globally. And you know what this reminds me of? Remember how the UK, the UAE, even Hong Kong were all racing to become the next big crypto hub? That's because America wanted to be the crypto hub. The US is literally setting the pace, and everyone else is scrambling to keep up. So when we look at what the SEC is doing right now, they're basically hitting the gas pedal on this entire movement. But check this out. We've got some breaking news from Nate Garashi. The SEC just announced that certain liquid staking tokens aren't securities. This could be the final piece of the puzzle for getting those staking and spot Ethereum ETFs approved. So what's the deal here? Well, liquid staking tokens are going to be the secret sauce for managing liquidity inside those spot Ethereum ETFs. And that was actually one of the SEC's biggest headaches. So yeah, I'm totally seeing the SEC systematically clearing out every single roadblock for Ethereum ETFs and spot ETFs, especially when it comes to staking and actually earning yield from them. But here's where it gets really exciting. I think this is going to crack open the floodgates for tons more ETFs across the board. Because let's be real, staking has always been seen as this massive threat to the traditional financial world. We've been covering this story since way back in 2022 and 2023, remember? And wow, 2023 was absolutely brutal for the entire DeFi space and staking platforms. That was like the year of the crackdown. Remember when Kraken got slammed with that massive fine? That was a wake-up call for everyone in the space. But look where we are today. It's like we're living in a completely different world. Everything has flipped on its head. So here's the thing. We're really looking at what this could mean for ETFs. And honestly, I think this could be a total game changer. Plus, this whole move from the SEC might just open the floodgates for even more ETFs to get the green light. I mean, think about it. They seem to be loosening up on pretty much everything right now. We're still sitting here waiting for those altcoin ETFs to finally get approved, which brings me to my next point. If we're really going to see the focus shift to making these spot Ethereum ETFs as successful as possible, like literally clearing every roadblock out of their way, then we've got to keep our eyes on those altcoin ETFs too. Check this out. We've got this XRP ETF that could get approved by September or October. Bloomberg's Eric Bakunis is saying approval might happen as early as Q3, especially with the SEC softening up and the whole Ripple case finally wrapping up. That could be the catalyst for an XRP pump right there. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't the massive catalyst I've been talking about, but I do think it's definitely one piece of the puzzle for XRP. When it comes to these ETFs, though, what I'm really zeroing in on is just how much the SEC is backing off on crypto overall. We're not just talking about staking here, it's the stable coins too. Here's a perfect example. This thing got posted on August 5th, but it actually dates back to April 4th. It was this statement about stablecoins saying compliant stablecoins now count as cash equivalents. And look, we all knew they already did, but this was another massive move from the SEC that I wanted to point out because it shows this huge push they're making to flip everything on its head. This entire year has just been move after move after move from this administration and the SEC, getting everything greenlit and ready so they can basically approve everything in one giant wave, even ETFs for every coin out there. People have been wondering like crazy if they've actually got the infrastructure ready to just steamroll through and approve all of these ETFs at once. When I talk about infrastructure, I mean this whole framework they've been putting together around altcoin ETFs. It's like a playbook where any company that wants to launch a crypto ETF just follows the framework, checks all the boxes, and bam, they're good to go. That's literally all there is to it. So as long as everything adds up, we're looking at approval times that'll be insanely short compared to the nightmare process we've seen before. When you really think about how bullish the SEC has gotten on crypto, they've been off the charts bullish. Just recently, Paul Atkins dropped this post on August 5th saying, under my leadership, the SEC is committed to providing clear guidance on the application of federal securities laws to emerging technologies and financial activities. And then he goes on, and we have today's staff statement on liquid staking as a significant step forward in clarifying the staff's view on crypto asset activities that do not fall within the SEC's jurisdiction. I am pleased that the SEC's Project Crypto initiative is already producing results for the American people. I mean, it's absolutely wild to think about what's happening right now compared to going back to 2024, 2023, 2022, or even 2021. Guys, we've put up with 4 freaking years, 4 years of anti-crypto nonsense. And today, we're finally seeing all of that flip completely with the SEC. Which brings me right back to this ETF thing. Why are we so laser focused on the XRP ETF? This is definitely part of that massive catalyst I keep talking about. But here's what I'm really zeroing in on with all of this, the SEC lawsuit. Let me paint you a picture here. We roll back to December 2020. And man, I know this isn't fun for XRP holders to think about, but December 22nd, 2020, bam, the announcement drops like a bomb. We're suing Ripple for selling securities, claiming XRP is a security. That's straight from the SEC. Fast forward almost 5 years later, and it's still this dark cloud hanging over all of us that we've got to deal with. But since then, so much has gone down. So much has completely shifted. The SEC is now greenlighting everything, flipping the script on everything, except for one thing. And that one thing, the Ripple lawsuit. So let's circle back to what Brad Garlinghouse said on June 27th. It's been over a month now since Ripple dropped their cross appeal, and we're all sitting here expecting the SEC to drop theirs too, just like they said they would. We're supposed to be closing this whole chapter and moving on to what really matters, building the internet of value. But here we are, still waiting. Look, we've been patiently waiting for some kind of update from the SEC, right? Instead, we're getting everything except what we actually want to hear. They're out there approving liquid staking left and right, giving the green light to stablecoins, making all these moves with Project Crypto. Sure, it didn't launch on August 5th like planned, but these past few weeks, nothing but bullish crypto talk coming from the SEC. Crypto this, crypto that, crypto everywhere. But here's the thing that's driving me crazy. This lawsuit is still hanging over our heads. We're talking about an American crypto company here, a blockchain-based American business with one of the biggest crypto assets tied to it. So what's the holdup? What's taking the SEC so long? Here's what I really want you guys to get though. Matt Hugin, Bitwise's CIO, dropped this gem. I wrote my CIO memo this week on SEC Chair Paul Atkins, Project Crypto. There's a lot to say. I'll post more tomorrow. But here's the thing. It's not priced in. The big question everyone should be asking about Atkins' vision is whether the market's already baked it in. If everyone was already expecting this complete 180 from the SEC, going from crypto enemy to crypto cheerleader, then it should already be reflected in Ethereum, Solana, Uniswap, and all the other asset prices. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'll leave you with that thought. Man, that speech totally caught me off guard. And here's the thing. I've been living and breathing crypto for 8 straight years now. I've been studying it, writing about it nonstop, and I've always been super bullish on crypto's future. I mean, I've been saying for years that all assets will eventually move over to blockchain-based rails. But after reading through that speech, I'm sitting here thinking I need to dream way bigger and on a much faster timeline than I ever imagined. If it caught me this off guard and I'm deep in this space, then I'm betting it wasn't priced in for a lot of other people either. Here's what I really need everyone to wrap their heads around though. So many people are treating this whole Ripple SEC lawsuit wrap up like it's going to be a total non-event. They're saying stuff like, oh, XRP is probably going to crash once the SEC makes their announcement, or nobody's even going to care anymore because this is dragged on way too long. But listen, this isn't just about price action, though I absolutely think it's going to be a massive catalyst for that too. I'm talking about a domino effect here. This is going to be huge for ETF approvals, for getting institutions on board, for partnership announcements all across the US. We're going to see so much bullish XRP news flowing from this that there's just no way it's already priced in. This is the biggest XRP catalyst sitting right in front of us, and it's not priced in because people aren't seeing the snowball effect that's going to happen once this case gets wrapped up. Now, here's where things get interesting. And look, I don't want to get too hung up on specific dates here. This August 15th date I'm about to mention, I'm not married to it, and I don't think anyone should put too much weight on it. But we've got Zach Rector saying that both the SEC and Ripple are highly motivated to get their dismissals filed by August 15th. So when we dig into this whole thing, we've got this question floating around. What are the actual odds of the SEC and Ripple dropping their appeals by August 15th? Mark chimed in on this and he put it perfectly. He said, look, I'm not a gambling man, but both parties are seriously motivated to get those dismissals filed by then, or at the very least, be able to tell the court they're working on it. So here we are, just sitting in this weird limbo, waiting for something, anything to happen. But here's what I keep coming back to. I really don't think any of this is priced in yet. And when this case finally wraps up, it's going to completely change the game for XRP. We're talking ETFs, massive institutional adoption, explosive growth, tokenization plays, you name it. The moment this lawsuit is behind us, everything XRP related is going to absolutely explode. And yeah, that definitely includes the price. That's what we're laser focused on right now. We're being patient, but man, the timing could be absolutely perfect for September and October if things play out right. For now, though, we're just waiting it out. All right, guys, hope you got something out of this one. If you did, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and definitely turn those notifications on because I've got way more free content coming your way. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Catch you in the next one. Peace.